Итак, друзья, всем большой привет. Я знаю, что вы устали, я вижу, что некоторые
I know
глаза
that you're
закрываются,
tired. I see that
прозевают,
some
поэтому
are
постараюсь
closing their
быть
eyes and yawning.
максимально
So
для
we'll
вас
try to be
полезным.
as
Также
useful
признаюсь,
as
что для меня,
possible for
наверное,
you.
это
Also,
самый
will
сложный
admit
доклад.
that for me this is
Особенно
the most
тяжело видеть, как
complicated
ползал,
presentation.
встает и уходит.
Especially,
Но
it
тем
is
не
hard
менее,
to see when half of
для
you
этого
are
есть
standing
две
up and
причины.
leaving.
Первая
For this, there are two
причина, риск
reasons. Reason
шифровальщика в
number
нашей
one,
компании
the
является
encryption risk
топ-1,
in
а
our
я остался
company
без
is top
кликера.
one, and I have no
Топ-10. Входит в
clicker.
топ-10.
It's among
Наряду
top 10,
с прилетом БПЛА.
alongside with
Друзья, можно кликер? Миш, остался кликер?
with arrival of UAV.
Так вот, риск шифровальщика входит в топ-10 нашей
So
компании.
encryption software is among 10
Наравне с
top
прилетом БПЛА в
threats,
наши
alongside with
площадки на
UAV arrival to our
юго-западе нашей
location
страны.
in the
Наряду,
south of our
спасибо большое,
country,
с, скажем так,
alongside
неустойчивой финансовой
with
моделью. И в целом
unsustainable
для
financial
компании
model,
простой это
and generally for
важный
the
такой
company,
инцидент, потому что
shutdown is a very
молочный
important
бизнес, он
incident because
низкомаржинальный.
dairy business is low
Health and
marginality
Nutrition
business.
наверняка не особо
Health
у вас
and
резонирует,
nutrition
отвлекается. На самом
are
деле
not
мы тот же самый
resonating to
Danone,
you, but we
который
also
сохранил
the
все те
same
традиции и
Danone which
приверженность
maintained
качеству
all these
продукции, которую
traditions
мы
and good
выпускаем.
quality of
Плюс
products that
стал
we
чуть
are
лучше, потому что мы
manufacturing.
начали
But we
запускать
became a
новые
little bit
линейки
better because
продуктов, у
we've
нас
launched a new
появляется и
product lines.
продукция для совсем
We
маленьких и
have
шеф-поваров.
products for very
Сам же
small
бизнес
kids and
молочный, он
for
является
chefs, and
низкомаржинальным.
dairy
Из
business
этого
is a low
тезиса вы
marginal
должны
business.
сделать
And from
буквально
this
три
thesis,
вывода.
you should come to three
Наша
conclusions.
продукция
Conclusion
самая
number
лучшая в
one, our
соотношении
products are the best from the point of view of price quality. Buy everything that you see on the shelves. Number two, the simplest.
Эффект финансовый, который получает компания в рамках реализации своих инициатив, продаж, стратегий и всего прочего,
It influences, it's very sensitive for the business of the company. Low marginality,
инвестировать в какие-то
it's a low desire
операционные
of the
задачи,
business to
сервисные функции,
invest
которыми мы являемся.
into
С одной
service
стороны,
functions.
важный риск, который тяжело закрыть и защитить, с другой
Important
стороны,
risk
низкий бюджет.
and low
Вторая
budget.
причина, почему мне
The
тяжело
second
сегодня выступать,
reason
я
why
за
is it
последние
difficult for me
полгода
to
наблюдал
make a
минимум
presentation
два
in the last
кейса,
6 months.
где
I've observed two
директора
cases
информационной
where
безопасности,
directors
выступая на
of IT
конференциях
security,
или
while
давали
speaking during a
интервью, их
conference,
взламывали
they've been
буквально
given
в течение
interview
месяца,
and they've
2
been
недель,
broken
потом
within a
шифровали,
month or
потом
2
эти
weeks after
директора
that. Then
лишались
they've been
работы. Так вот, я
encrypted
очень
and then
надеюсь,
they
что
lost
с
their
вашей
job.
пользой мне
So I do
получится
hope
это
that with your help,
вычесть, избежать. Просьба, если вы
I will be
видите,
able
что
to
где-то
avoid
рассказываю bullshit, вы
this.
знаете лучше,
So
не стесняйтесь, в конце
if
будет
you know
QR-код.
better and I'm telling bullshit, well, in the end there will be a QR code and you can give me all your negative feedback. So let's go to the hardcore statistics.
Марк Твен утверждал, что есть три вида лжи. Ложь, наглая ложь и
three
статистика.
type of
Все три
lie,
представлены на этом
bad lie,
слайде.
and statistics.
Его читать можно слева направо.
Well, you can read it
Мне
from
так
left to
очень
right.
нравится. Слева представлена статистика, которую нам говорит компания DEFIR, Digital Forensic and Incident
Statistics from
Response.
Digital Forensic Incident Response. Probably I'm not going to give the name because you know who's involved in incidents. And these companies are saying that number of attacks of ransomwares, but the paybacks, ransom sizes are multiplying. And companies that develop solutions which should prevent these ransomware virus, their statistics are totally different. They say the same, but it's reduced. So I think that out of two outweighing sides, you need to choose something that is being told by FSB. And they say 70% of calls to them is related to the ransomware. Irrespectively to the fact that this threat exists long time, it is still very obvious. So the hardcore I'm speaking about. I don't really understand colors. It's hard to see and read the slides. Maybe in YouTube you can look, but this is a color coding that encodes the practices. Attacks and those stages which have been where these practices have been used by the groups that have been promoting these encoders. So what should you pay attention to? You have small circles on these slides which in percentages show how much these techniques were popular. Therefore you can come to a conclusion. The more is the number in a circle, the more important it is to get protected from it. And 1/3 of attacks are in small cups. You will have to look at the slide. Implementation of the code in the process, interpreters of the command line, and there was another number. Okay, let's speak about these two.
нас взламывают, ну, понятно, там вирус,
we are being broken, well, of course, by virus. You can buy vendor solutions, but also they use those scripts, Bash, Python,
VBS, да, которые, в принципе, повседневно используют команды.
which are used on daily basis to use commands. Tell me, please, who in your company uses the limitations that you can launch only subscribed and signed scripts?
Вы
Zero.
взломаны в 3%
So
атак,
you've
я
been
вас с этим
broken
поздравляю.
in 1/3 percentages of attacks.
Еще одна интересная статистика, я слишком люблю
Another
цифры.
interesting statistical
57%
information,
атак,
57% of attacks,
согласно
according to
аналитике, тоже
analytical
компании в
information
России,
of one of the
начинается
largest
с
companies
фишинга.
in Russia, it
Для
begins
тех,
with
кто,
phishing. For those of
считает,
you
что
who
это,
thinks
такая
that
посредственная техника,
this is
расскажу
a
вам живой
medium
кейс, который случился в нашей
technique, I will
компании
tell you
буквально
about
в этот
live case
понедельник.
that happened in our company last
Сидим мы,
Monday.
значит, работаем с командой,
Okay, we're
получаем
working
письмо
with our
через нашу
team,
любимую
then we get a
фишинг-базу
letter
от
to our
одного из
phishing
сотрудников.
bot
Друзья, какое
from
странное
one of the
письмо.
employees.
Лезем разбираться.
I've received a strange
Кажется,
letter.
стандартный файл,
We look at it,
но
looks like a
по разным
standard
там
file,
предпосылкам понимаем, что
but
фишинг.
due to different assumptions, we
Отдаем
understand
на
that this
анализ, и
is phishing.
оказывается, что
We give it for
в
analysis, and then we
файлике
figure out
зловред,
that
который не определился ни одним из
file
вендоров
has a
антивирусных
ransomware that
решений,
has not been
плюс Zero Day, который он эксплуатирует. Знаете, в чем
understood
прикол?
by any of the
Вот
virus
этот
programs
файл
and plus
прошел
zero day.
почтовый
And
шлюз
this file
безопасности,
went through the
песочницу, два
to the
разных
sandbox,
антивируса,
two
и не
different
был задетектирован
antiviruses,
нигде.
and was not detected by any one of
Архитектура
them.
вроде правильная,
The
православная,
architecture
прям
is
по
a proper
заветам как
one,
бы
you know,
учебникам,
orthodox
но
one,
она нас
according
не
to
спасла.
the
Спасло
school books, but
обучение
it didn't save us.
персонала и
Only the
работа с тем,
trained
чтобы люди
personnel
не
and
велись на
work with the
фишинг.
fact so that
Поэтому,
people wouldn't
во-первых,
open
рекомендую
those files.
посмотреть самый низ слайда.
So
Здесь
recommend you,
есть
please look at the bottom of the
расширения, которые
slide,
используются
and there
для
are top
доставки
extensions
зловреда.
which are used for the
Их
delivery
важно
of those
запретить на
ransomware
получение.
programs.
Понятно,
They
что
have to
есть
be
там условные
prohibited
X3,
for
zipы,
reception. Of
которые
course,
в
there are
целом,
certain Excels
понятное
and
дело, не
zips
запретить, но есть и
which
другие,
cannot be
которые
prohibited, but there
как
are
бы
other
стоят
ones which have to
Идем
be
дальше.
blocked.
Вторая история — это
Let's
легитимные
move on.
учетные
Story number
записи
2.
службы.
Legitimate
Сверху
accounts and
слева
services. On the top
приведены набор
left,
служб, которые я
you can see
вычленял
a
из
number of
множества отчетов
services
за
which were
последние 2 года
selected
по
from a number of
атакам
reports in the course of last 2 years
И тоже их
following the
стоит как
groups
бы
of encoders, and they
внести в
also have
блэк-листы,
to
либо
be
наоборот
introduced
ограничить
into
white-листами, если
blacklists
вы
or
хорошо
limited by
управляете тем программным
whitelists
обеспечением,
if you
которое у вас используют службы.
managing the
И опять же
software that is
понятно,
being
что
used by your
условный
company. And also it is
AnyDesk или
very clear
Ultra
that any
VNC
desk or
используют
Ultra
команды
VNC
поддержки.
uses
Сетевая
infrastructural
команда
commands
инженера
of support.
информационной безопасности
De-engineer
пищевых
informational
решений тоже
security.
используют.
Oh
Но вы
my
можете
God, they
ограничить
also
всё
are
остальное, и в
used. And you
целом,
can limit
дай бог,
yourself
вас
by
это
everything else.
спасет.
And
Возвращаемся
maybe
к
you are not
этапам
going to be
атаки
attacked.
по
Okay, let's go
Митро.
back to the
И всё
attack
начинается
to
с разведки.
Mitra.
Для
Everything
меня
becomes
неким
with
таким максимально важным и ценным решением и сервисом, который мы приобрели там в первую очередь
reconnaissance. Well, the first solution is a CPT, ASM. Different people call it differently. Continuous penetration testing or attack surface monitor.
Это сервис, который предоставляет
This
многие
is a
компании у нас
service
в
which is
России,
provided
и
by
он
many
сводится
companies in
к
Russia,
4
and it
замечательным
comes
вещам.
to
Во-первых,
4
это
different things.
автоматизированное
Number one,
управление
it's
уязвимостями
automated
вашего
management
периметра.
of vulnerabilities
Как
in your
правило, с ручным
perimeter.
триажом. Вы не тратите
Usually
время
with
на
manual triage,
и ресурсы
you
на
don't
создание
spend time and
этого тима, который
resources
будет
for
заниматься
creating red
отчеты
team, which is
проверены,
going to be doing
следовательно,
that.
разработчики
The reports
охотнее
are
будут
checked,
заниматься
and
их
developers
устранением,
will
уязвимостей
more
из этих
likely
отчетов.
do the removal
Более
of
того, мы
vulnerabilities
существенно
from this
сократили на
report.
пентестах.
Also, we have
Мы от них
reduced during
отказались,
pen
там
tests.
просто сама компания
We denied
предлагает
them,
раз в год
and the company
проводить пентест
offers
сверху, как
once a
плюшка
year to do the
небольшая.
pen test on top
Ну
as a
и
small
там
feature.
time to market увеличится
And
у
time to
выводов
market
от
will
различных систем, в
grow
целом полезно. Но
when
это еще не
different
все.
systems are going to be
Есть
launched, but it's not it.
асинт, который сводится
There's
не
a
только к
SIN,
выявлению
which
там,
comes not only to the
доменных имен,
discovery
которые
of
появились в обходе
APIs
ваших
of domain
процедур
names
безопасности,
which are around your
там, без решения
procedures of
безопасности, без
security and
устраненных
safety without
уязвимостей,
permission,
бла-бла-бла. Но еще асинт
without
позволяет
vulnerabilities being
выявлять
removed, and
утечки
also a
ваших
SIN
доменных
discovers
учетных записей.
leakages
А
of your
многие
domain
компании, про которые я
accounts, and
рассказывал,
many
что их взломали,
companies that
именно
I've been
были
speaking about
взломаны
that they've been
из-за
broken.
отсутствия
They've been broken due to the absence of two-factor authentication, which just disappoints that this happens to nowadays. And discovery of those leakages. Interesting case, our partner helped us to discover documents about one of our largest factories that were available in wild internet because a contractor forgot to close their CRM to access from internet to a standard user password. Oh my God, the scheme of the factory with the description of the network infrastructure and blueprints for anybody who can be attacking, it will be in open access because they have not protected their system.
Уведомления об утечках
In
данных,
addition to that,
готовящихся
notification
атаках,
about
это
data
последняя
leakages
фишка.
and
Ребята
future
парсят
attacks. This is the
Darknet,
recent
читают
feature. People
специальные
parse
ресурсы,
Darknet, they read special
мониторят
resources,
там, я не знаю,
they
чатики
monitor
IT,
different
армии
chats of
соседнего
IT
государства и
army
прочее,
of the
уведомляют нас, если
neighboring
готовится атака.
country.
Штука
They inform
полезная,
us if the attack
пока
has been
что не
prepared. It's
выстрелила.
very useful thing. Well, it
То, что
didn't
мне
shoot,
еще не
it didn't
нравится,
work.
они показывают,
And
например,
what
утечки
I like
ваших
about
топов.
them,
Вы
they
сгрузили
show
всю
the
информацию по
leakages from
нашим
your
топам,
tops.
которые они
We
согласились
have
нам дать.
downloaded all
Пришли
the
через месяц,
information about our
сказали,
tops.
ты знаешь,
They
у
came in
тебя
1 month and they
по
said, you
доменным
know,
учеткам все хорошо, но
your
вот от
domain
Гугла у
accounts,
тебя
everything is okay,
такой-то
but
пароль,
from
причем он
Google, you have a
используется в других
password, and it
учетных
has been
записях, не
used in
связанных с твоим
other
Гуглом, и в
accounts
целом
not
у тебя
related with your
могут там
Google.
все твои
And generally
социальные сети
speaking,
взломать,
all your
твою
social
почту
networks can be
взломать,
broken, your mail can
взломать
be
твоего
broken,
оператора, потому что там
and your
утекли данные,
operator can be
скриншоты
broken
паспорта и
because
прочее.
data has been
Топ-менеджмент
leaked,
был в
etc.,
восторге,
etc.
поэтому
Top
советую
management was
обратить внимание.
happy, so please pay attention to that.
Enterprise архитектура против шифровальщиков.
Enterprise architecture against ransomware. This is what I've started with, and this is what's going to be the end. I made so-called collection of all these solutions which are being sold by all the vendors. And you know what? It's very expensive, too expensive. But the next slide will bring you back to that. And please remember, I just told you that we've been broken. They went through all the firewalls, and several tools didn't help us. That's why I have a certain life hack to you. During my previous management, I was managing effectiveness of investments into the information security. We developed a mathematical model which on the basis of the risk to the company, CRO, IRO, and two main indicators for any financial operational director of the company to which you bring your budget for approval. And these tools, they have ROI more than one, which on their side means that they reduce risks for a higher amount per year than you invest into them. This statement will sell your solution to any person who gives you money in a few seconds. Please use it. Sorry, there's a lot of QR codes and your camera will go crazy, but I'd like to remind you, you can go to the YouTube VK video and you can stop there and make a picture of each one of them. And this is a slide on how free of charge you can build same thing free of charge. I love free practices. And H&M, back when I was moving to the north, was not ready to invest a lot of money. That's why I've selected this company. I do understand that it is important for me to do effective solutions cheap. And for this, I don't need large budgets for the support, but good hands and time of your team. Most of all, I like this benchmark. Through the QR code, you will find these scripts based on the recommendations of one of the largest communities that has been developed in the information security, and they make emphasis on the hardening. Plus, I like Goldfish, a free tool for phishing mailings, which against 10 millions that we've been asked for this similar tool. It looks very delicious. Of course, 10 millions. How much we paid? 0. Plus audit of resilience of domain passwords through the DS internals. Also good practice that allows you to discover accounts where the passwords are cross-secting. Weak passwords, which even comply to the password policies but can easily be brute forced. And we had a lot of them, and we created scripts in order to stop hitting the password from the account, which can easily be brute forced by the dictionary. What regulators say, and I love that. I love our regulators, and these are really good people, no sarcasm at all. But if you compare recommendations on 3 slides with CIS recommendations, and this is the main agency following information security in the US, they have 30+ pages and very hardcore with architecture, with schemes, detailed information, how to protect yourself on the network, etc. And I think that we're going to have more and more documents with such detail, and you will be able to enter and read. The only minus is in English. They don't write Russian, that's it. Maybe we'll fix it someday. Backups will save everybody. And this is truly a certain manifest, which is based on the fact that when we've been conducting Cyberdome meeting, one of the Cs that was encoded came to share his result and told us and confirmed to us a story with S3 storage. Rule 321, very boring spreadsheet, how we build our backups, but there's an extension in the modern methodology 3211, and the final one tells us that there should be at least one storage in non-changeable way, which is the main way to protect backup from ransomware. This is unchanged storage is achieved by the mode of the database of forms. So many times you can record it one time and then don't change it. The simplest thing, what I like about it, is to use S3 object storage where there is a mutable storage setting, because unfortunately Chinese vendors who have replaced backupping systems, this functionality works very badly. You cannot have playbook, another black joke. We all like plans, but we do not prepare plans for crisis. And this is an understandable story that crisis, well, you should get ready for it. It's very simple. And it's fitting in 3 words. But the only thing that I would like to tell you, Kostya Tsitkov, I think he was speaking today. I didn't meet him today. He's the head of Gazprom Bank responsible for and he made a very good document, which is going to be published very soon, related to a set of practices and recommendations on protecting yourself from ransomware and restoring yourself after this attack based on the experience of dozens of CSOs. Kostya will publish this file and you will find a lot of interesting things. For example, for myself, preparing for DFIR, and you need a chair, you need a table for the guys to come to help to discover this problem. Thank you very much. Another thesis about the crisis is the exercise crisis. The risk management practice is a well-known one, but it's not working in Russia. In order for you to understand, how is it useful? Do you know the company British Petroleum? Who knows this company? Please lift your hands. Everybody. But do you know that until 1960s, it was in the end of the rating of the oil-producing companies, it was a no-name, nobody knew about it, and this company has grown up only thanks to the fact that at the moment when they have organized OPEC, and they started controlling prices for limits of oil production, this company took their folder. In this folder, there was a scenario, and they started following those actions listed in this folder. They came out of the crisis and they became top 5 companies of the world. Out of hundreds, they went into 10 top companies. So get ready for crisis, I'm asking you. BCP is understandable, standard thing, and I'm not speaking about it. Just crisis exercise. These are live slides. This is not something that I took from somebody. We went to top management, and top management had big eyes when they've learned that we have a lot of problems. I'm not going to speak about these problems because I'm going to be rebuked by them. And we've been looking at data leakage things, and the group was not involved in that. They didn't care about this topic. And the ransomware virus, since the first day they started working on solving these problems, was statistics, final statistical information. I'm not going to torture you anymore with these numbers, but I think you wake up. 87% of attacks have led to the stoppage of the business, downtime. Some of the companies have not received the decryption key, and the top manager was replaced because of it. They paid the ransom, it was a big ransom, and they received only laughing. So I'm not paying to terrorists, but there are people who are helping them, and if you have a contact which connects you to the other side, and you trust this person, you can try and risk. If you are just trying the set of recommendations, well, it makes no sense to verbalize them. If you are mature and you felt bored, counterback, bounty, myself, together with cyber tests, I know that in the course of 2 weeks before we've been broken, fortunately we have not, but our partner was broken, and the partner of our partner was broken, and I wait until they will come to us. But silence, thank you very much. No, that's not it. Cyber House. Please come to the Cyber House. It's a good space. We've been discussing ransomware. We had business breakfasts, not only information security specialists, but with some other people from PR, marketing, HR, the club of CEOs. They also learned what is cybersecurity and how to live with it. So please find, join, and let's exchange the experience. That's all I wanted to tell you. Telegram, if you didn't like and if you learn how to do it better, send your feedback and I will read it. Thank you very much, dear friends. Thank you.
Спасибо, коллеги. А вопросы Владиславу?
Thanks, dear colleagues. Do you have any questions to Vladislav?
Есть вопрос. Можно микрофончик, пожалуйста?
Yes, would you have a question? Can you give us the microphone?
Здравствуйте, я вот
Hello.
хожу, смотрю, да.
I'm walking, I'm watching the whole day, and everybody react to what is coming. But why in Russia don't we create our own system,
Отдельную, чтобы
code system, separate one, so that we don't work with the other one? For example, we can take Situn that has been working on DSSP, triple code. Let's take triple code. Quantum mechanics allows us to do that, create our own OS, create our own software code, and don't think that somebody will come and break you. They just won't understand it. It's like I don't understand Arabic language and I cannot contact this person. Same binary code, we will not be able to work with. Why do we always react to the firefighting?
Спасибо. Я не уверен, что я прям на 100% понял. Разобью на два вопроса.
I don't have 100% understanding well. The first one is interpreters, how they are being interpreted.
Второй вопрос, а где реестр
The second question, where is the registry of the single code?
Не знаю почему, я с удовольствием к такому подключился и все качал оттуда.
I would join something like that,
но это уже не я.
but it's not going to be done by me.
Отлично. Вот там девушка была.
There was a lady, there was a young person here. Yes, we had 3 questions to the presenter, a couple of more questions, and the quota is gone. Thank you very much for your presentation. Okay, let's see. There's a story of turnover penalties for PDM leakages, and in regulatory, do they have some leverage, the standards or penalties which would help us to avoid ransomware attacks? Well, give the book to the girl. The story is the following. My personal subjective opinion, which nobody cares about, I like FSB practice. What they do. Something happened with your cryptography. Everybody will come, will take it, and then figure out in your business, and business, has downtime. And business have very bad situations. So if something like that would be applied against companies which were not able themselves, the problem would be solved much faster. They just removed your service. Okay, work on the paper. Goodbye. It's very tough. Thank you very much, but it works. It works. Yeah. I'll give the book. Maybe somebody else wants to fight for the book. The final question, number 3. Yeah, the microphone is coming.
Здравствуйте.
Hello. You told us that in your experience you had phishing letter, nobody detected it, and it happened that training has influenced that nothing was broken. You've been doing the efficiency of the finances.
Or do you think it would make more sense to invest money in employee education or infrastructure, to make sure that we we all safer zone. 100% your employees should be number one priority, because this human factor is the 60 plus probability that attack would be successful. All the high profile cases, it was a human factor. People just download some plugin with a Trojan horse, and then be it the data of the delivery company or logistics company has been paralyzed due to hackers attack. Number two, again, my position, again, nobody cares about it, but again, I am investing in hardening. Like, okay, you've paid this 100 million, you have to set it up, you have to maintain it, you have to find qualified people, you don't have it. It's like big toys. Why do you need this if you can open internet and you can just open internet and you can set it up free processes, and then at the same time you do all other processes, perimeter is protected, then monitoring is protected, then again your efficiency is going to be better. So I think this would be quite reasonable.